Hello again, YouTube. Lovell, prior enlisted Marine, military history buff, and overall somebody who just does a lot of research. And you guys probably just got fresh off the watching my uh why basically it's a history lesson slash Lovell explains why gun control don't work. Okay, so I told you guys that I'd have a whole series of videos about explaining each one of my solutions and why it will work, and some of them are a little more obvious and some of them are a little more obscure, so this one's going to be one of the more obvious ones. I know it's going to be relatively easy to follow. I suggest that we take homeless veterans, screen them psychologically, put rifles in their hands under orders to protect these kids at all cost. They have already written a check to Uncle Sam, a blank check that can be valued up to and including their life, and have already signed on the thing. So every single veteran at one point or another has actually said, yes, you can cash my life out if the situation requires it. So these people will be as selfless as can be. Some of these homeless veterans, all they need is a simple little hand up or a purpose in life. It's like I myself sometimes even miss being in Iraq because there were some things that we did that I was very, very proud of. It's like when it came to sometimes when it came to food, I would frequently hand food out to the local Iraqis. I would commonly do that because I looked around and I saw this third world, for lack of better words, hellhole. And I realized some of these people might not know where their next meal's coming from, so I started handing food out. And it was like we had pallets of MREs. And we had tons of food. We had care packages. Even while we were in Iraq, we were extremely well fed. So it made sense to me to hand a little bit of the excess out, give to the community a little bit. Moments like that I was very, very proud of. To interact with Iraqi IAs, Iraqi Army, where I noticed their cooler was empty and we had pallets of water. I came back with a case of water for them to have, a whole case of 24 bottles of water. So I personally miss the purpose that came from doing things like that. It's like I know moments like that, I definitely won a few hearts and minds. Things that I was very, very proud of in Iraq. Very, 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 very proud of indeed. And a lot of these veterans have similar issues. That moment's gone, and they're having trouble adapting to what's next. Well, why don't we give them the purpose of, you see these kids? Yep. See that rifle? Use that to defend these kids. At all cost, if there happens to be a shooter, take that shooter out. And that can be used in combination with the resource officer. So the veteran can actually have a post outside of the school and actually monitor the situation, or a post just on the inside or somewhere, or even have multiple posts and keep the shooter guessing. Even a buddy, maybe. Because after all, in service, we never did anything alone. We always had at least two of us everywhere. I mean, even in boot camp, there was there were cases of where even if you had to go make a head call, is what we called it in the Marine Corps, and the Navy calls it that too. Even if you had to go make a head call, your buddy would go to the porta-john with you. And granted, he'd stand outside the porta-john while you were doing your business. And ideally, you'd want to go with a buddy that had to go do his business as well, so that way you weren't wasting his time. So even when it comes to something like that, yeah. So yes, have two veterans at least guarding a school. It's like here in Buena Vista we have four schools, so altogether I'd say at least 8 veterans protecting these schools. Preferably somebody, first off, they have to pass a psychological screen. Second off, they had to have been trained on rifle marksmanship. Third off, they had to be a really good shot with with these rifles. It's like me as a Marine sharpshooter, I could do some pretty crazy things, and I'm not even one of the best marksmen the Marine Corps got. It's like there are experts, rifle experts, and then there's even the sniper. So I've got a few classes above me. But I'm still if it wasn't for the neuropathy, I could probably outshoot anybody who's actually watching this video, other than, of course, the expert or the sharpshooter. And even then, I could give the expert a run for his money. I missed it by only 5 points. So, missed 220 by 5, people. So, these veterans, a lot of them would just want the opportunity to have relevance again, and it would actually give them an opportunity to actually get out of homeless, be able to get into a rental place, be able to get into an actual house. It would get them back on their feet and on with life, and in a lot of cases, that's what these guys need. Just a hand up, and here you go, buddy. So, 2 birds, 1 stone. And a lot of these guys have, like I said, they've already resigned to, it's like while they were in service, and a lot of them already resigned to the fact that they were already toast. It's like I personally went over to Iraq fully expecting to come back in a box. So, towards that end, these veterans would be excellent choices because they will go all out to hold on to that reason for their existence. And they've already basically said, some of them have already said at one point in their life, that's it, I'm done for. And so, taking a guy down, a single shooter down with a pistol, compared to some of them who faced wave attacks before, that's not a big deal for them. That's like some of the Vietnam veterans that are as old as my grandfather is now, about 83 years old. So, but they probably didn't expect to make it past their 20th birthday. So, even though they might not have as fast of reaction anymore, I'll bet you they still have the fire in the belly. And then there was the war veterans of Grenada, Desert Storm, Somalia, OIF. Yeah, there's some veterans who were homeless from those wars as well. And yes, you take the time to put a rifle in their hands and give them a purpose, and I'll bet you they'll use it. So, 2 birds, 1 stone. Take care of the veterans, give them the purpose that they need, and also protect our children. Seems like a perfectly good solution to me. That is the very, very short-term solution. So in the next video, I'm going to address the crazy element, because crazy's kind of crazy. But I wanted to address the extremely short-term solution, and this is as short as it gets. Our next video is going to address crazy, or is going to crazy. Alright? I've been great. I've been Lovell, you've been great. Good God. Wow. Talk about slip at the tongue. I've been Lovell, you've been great. You guys have a good day now. And